PAX, a great place to play some games, be surrounded by fellow nerds, and meet this guy.
How you doing? Good to see you, Lamar Wilson here.
Yes, it was a ton of fun to meet some of my favorite YouTubers. I didn't get pictures with everyone I wanted, but that's okay. I wanted them to enjoy the conference as much as I was. We traveled from Salt Lake City to LA to San Antonio. Yes, we went to California, then Texas. I don't know why, the tickets were just cheaper that way. Once we got to Texas, we had a ton of fun. First thing we did was go to one of my favorite restaurants on the Riverwalk, which is a total blast, and if you're ever in San Antonio, I recommend just walking down the Riverwalk and enjoying the scenery there. But after that, we just kind of moseyed around, had a ton of fun before the convention started. PAX South is the smallest of the conventions of the PAX circuit, but it is still huge and getting bigger every year. This footage was captured right before closing on the last day of the conference, so it's only about 30% of the crowd that was present on Saturday. Saturday was shoulder to shoulder the whole day. PAX consists of three main staples: video games, tabletop games, and panels. This year, I passed on the panels and focused just on the games. We got a very unique tabletop platform called Lark Lamp, which has interchangeable slides to create a wide variety of games. I also got to demo Star Wars Legion, which has not been released yet, but for those of you who aren't familiar with the project, it's pretty much Star Wars meets Warhammer. So I was super happy to check that out. But 80% of my time was checking out games on the show floor, biggest of which, Monster Hunter World. I have never played a Monster Hunter before, so initially I wasn't insanely hyped about this one, but after playing the demo, I'm a lot more interested now, for sure. The hunt of these games has truly always appealed to me, but something about this one, when you're playing with friends and it being in a larger world, I don't know exactly, but this game is now definitely on my radar. There's also Dauntless, which is honestly more up my alley. Yes, it's similar to Monster Hunter, but the music and art style of this one is more my cup of tea. It just invokes a more real sense, much more intensity when battling these huge monsters. And honestly, I just feel like it's a bit more creative with the monsters. The gameplay itself was very similar, but you can certainly tell that Monster Hunter World is more polished in its gameplay, and the team behind Monster Hunter has been perfecting the game for many generations. But overall, I'm very interested in both. On to probably my favorite game of the show floor, Tunic. Tunic was shown off at E3 last year, and we essentially played the same demo that they offered there. The developers said not to expect this game out until 2019, which makes me insanely sad, but happy at the same time that they're taking their time. It is a small team working on the game from what I understand, so the release window makes much more sense with that added onto it. But good gravy, this game was a blast. It's very Zelda-like, which the developers are super proud of. And for good reason. They took the Zelda style we miss and love, that classic feel of it, and added their own flavor to it. The studio behind the game, Finji, also made Night in the Woods, so you know if you've ever played that game, the quality here is super high. But they also had another game coming out soon called Overland, which is XCOM and The Last of Us kind of melded together, which was very fun and very challenging. Another game that was a blast to play was Omen Sight, where you are a warrior tasked with saving the world. But the unique twist here is that you have a time limit, and at the end of every day the world is destroyed and you complete the quests again. This is unique because it invites you to replay a mission, and maybe the first time you killed the seeming villain, but in your second playthrough you betray your companions and discover much more of the story going on. Think of Majora's Mask with much more decision making and punishing decisions involved. Aftercharge was another game that was absolute delight. It's a 3v3 shooter that puts one team with invisibility up against a team with invincibility. Each team takes a turn on either side and the joy ensues. I definitely recommend checking this game out and giving it your support. The developers really nailed down something unique and special here. I cannot say it enough, keep your eyes on this game. Overall guys, there was so much PAX South had to offer, and it was a ton of fun. There was a ton of games that I would love to talk about, but that video would end up being 20 hours long. So I highly recommend checking these games out for yourself. The conference is amazing. It's super motivational to someone like me who wants to break into this industry and maybe show a game of their own on this floor one day. And it's overall a total blast if you're a lover of tabletop and video games alike. So if you have a chance, consider going to any PAX, and I promise you won't regret it. And until next time, I'll see you online. Vanilla Soup out. Alright, so final words on PAX.
It was massive.